That's right, YouTube. What's going on? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for coming by the channel. I'm Nako. I'm bringing you today a beginner's guide for Captain Tsubasa Dream Team. It's been 5 years since the game has been released. It was first released through the Japanese version. The global release began sometime in December, so we are going to be reaching the 5th anniversary of the global release in the upcoming months. So with that being said, because you are here, I'm going to teach you a few of the things that you need to know to get yourself a good start. In case you have not seen, I'm going to mention something like a reroll. I did create a reroll guide that's separate from this, so I'm just going to leave the description or the link to that video hopefully in the description of this video, and then at the end of this video, in case you forgot or whatever, but I'll get you to it so that you can go ahead and make sure that you give yourself the start that you want before you start diving too deep into the game. You want to at least get started with one good character, and you're gonna, because it's a gacha game, in case you're new to gacha gaming, I don't know what your status is, whatever. I had never played a gacha game before Captain Tsubasa Dream Team. I came to this because I love the anime growing up as a kid, and there's a lot of these characters I never knew anything about. I didn't know anything about this Uruguayan player right here, Hino, or the guy over there that's supposed to be modeled after Maradona in Juan Diaz. Yeah, I didn't know of their existence. Well, anyway, yeah, so that brought me here. So because it's a gacha style game, if you've played a gacha game before, you already know what's up in a sense. If you have not, just know that this basically means that it's kind of like a form of opening up like football cards, baseball cards, Pokemon cards, stuff like that, and that you're gonna be like pulling for players and stuff. You don't know what you're gonna get. Sometimes you're gonna get something good, sometimes you're not. So you might experience some heartbreak, you're gonna experience some good times. It's gonna be fun. If you're a fan of the anime, that's probably why you're here. But at the same time, once you start with a game, it gets a little overwhelming. Heck, even right now with this intro, I haven't even got it started. Look at all the stuff that I've said already. But anyway, we're gonna get to it. I promise. Just be ready to, aside from I think you're gonna have a good time. So far, 5 years in, I've been having a good time. And before we get into that, all right, no, actually, yeah, let's continue with that. There's a lot of good stuff in this game. The music is awesome, the artwork is beautiful, the animations are nice, so it's gonna be a fun time. I think more specifically if you're nostalgic and stuff like that. Okay, the very first, let's get to it. So the very first tip I'm gonna give you right now as a beginning player, the only thing you want to do is pull minimal. Again, you're gonna want to see the reroll, so they could pull minimal for one good player real quick, and that's it. Then from here until November, okay, July 15th as of this recording, 2022, you must not pull on anything at all from here until November or December. Okay, nothing, unless maybe if we see something down the line that shows that maybe, okay, this is probably like a character that every team should be without, which is probably not going to be the case. I think that there's some good character cards out there, but then there's always counters and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? So like, and with this anniversary that just passed, it brought up some like a change in the meta, and so like, you know, things are changing right now. So I don't want to suggest to you, oh yeah, you know, the main thing you got to do is save your dream balls. You're not going to be able to establish a good team until later on, because you have to pull the card first, you have to train them, then after you max them out, you have to limit break them, and to limit break them, you have to have a team that's strong enough to be completing the events that give you the items for it, and you know, you get them through rewards through events and so on and so forth. Okay, so it's going to take you a little while to really establish a team. So if you're brand new and you really don't know what's going on, play the story, check out the animations, enjoy it, get to learn it, get to play it in its most simplest of forms. It's going to get a little complicated once you get into PvP, and if your intention is to get into PvP, it's going to take you a bit to actually establish a team that's usable in the meta. So don't waste any dream balls pulling now when you can reach the anniversary. From here until then, you'll have tons of dream balls, okay, if you accumulate them and resist the urge to pull, and then you will be able to pull full steps during the anniversary, which come with good players for the most part. Okay, but at the very least, you'll have something to pull then. Clear the story, and even then, allow yourself to pull on multiple banners during the anniversary, because again, the World Cup is coming, okay? World Cup is coming. Back in 2018, K-Lab did do something special for the game while the World Cup was on. So there's got to be something like that coming around, okay? So save, don't pull, okay? All right, let's get started now here. So this guide is assuming that you've already gone through the reroll, But anyway, so here we go through the tutorial. I'm not gonna go through this because it's gonna show you. You could go through that yourself. It's quick. Pretty much, it's just gonna show you that okay, your player possesses the ball right here. This is what the field of play looks like. And then you'll tap on here to send the pass. You'll drag over here and stuff like that, and blah blah blah. You get into matchups, do special skills, and so on and so forth. This will show you at first how to do all of that. Okay, so just go ahead and follow the instructions. It's not too bad. Okay, I'm gonna skip it for the sake of the tutorial, for this beginner's guide I should say, because there's a whole lot to cover and I want to be able to keep it as short as possible, or possibly make it into a series or whatever. Okay, so right now the game is just explaining to you that the way that you get players is through transfers. You'll see how to get to those transfers. The transfers change all the time. Each transfer will have like a timer on there that shows you the availability of how long the transfer is available for. Right now, again, as a new player, that is none of your concern, because you do not want to pull on these. Well, just for the sake of re-rolling, but don't worry about it. Okay, some of these players, especially like the Dream Collection and stuff like that, they do come back. The J League players will not. So that's why I guess if you want to re-roll for one of those, to get started with one of those, but that's right now in July, 2 weeks, not even 2 weeks, I think in about a week they'll be gone. And so then when you re-roll, you'll be pulling for something else, depending on when you are starting this game. But regardless, what will not change is when you start the game, well, assuming that they change this particular player selection that is available as of right now, July 15, 2022, this is the best player that you can select. Trust me on this one. It's the best player that you can get, because none of these other ones are going to be usable in the meta. None of them really have a technique that is pretty like unique or anything like that per se. And as far as I know, this guy right here is probably the only one that possesses the overhead skill that is necessary for that particular character to use on a better card. I know that probably didn't make sense, but you know, we will get to it. Just trust me that that's the best one to start off with at the beginning. Okay, so now let me know your name. You could always put this now or put this later. Once you've I usually just skip it for now, because you could change it later. And right now, especially because if you're gonna do the reroll, you're just gonna go through this real quick. I'm gonna show you all the different modes of play that there are, story, league, online, and all of that stuff. And then they're gonna give you a little bit of an explanation here as to the beginner's gift that they will provide you with. And then from the beginner's gift right here, you're gonna be given the options of 3 different teams. And then from those 3 different teams, I made a video of that, as well as to which one I suggest you should take as a beginner. But now that I'm doing a few accounts to start off, I feel like I want to change my advice based on how things are. And I would say, just like I'm telling you, don't pull on anything. I would even probably recommend now, don't even do anything with this gift beginner bonus just yet until you have a team that's established. Because some of these contain skills that you might want to pass on to a future player, and they're unique to these character cards. Like these 2 right here, the players from the Netherlands. Currently, some usable versions of this one, not so much of this one, but maybe down the line there might be a better version of this one. And the shot that they contain are unique to these specific cards. These 2 twins right here, they come because of this part of this beginner gift bonus or whatever. They come with additional skills that they normally don't have. For example, this particular card, when you pull them from a regular transfer, does not come with this S rank skill and does not come with this S block skill either. This one is specific to a different character card where you have to transfer the skill onto it. So the fact that this one comes with it, it's a skill that you could have in your possession for when a good card of this character comes around and you want to pass on that skill. We will get into that. Trust me, we will. Okay, but this is important because right now, if you don't really understand this and you don't really have a team established, yeah, the only purpose that I see with you starting off with something like, okay, well, I just want to clear the stages as fast as I can. For the accounts that I've been farming currently, like 5 days in, 6, 7, I don't know, something like that, maybe about a week, not too long though. I've been doing for the most part just fine, getting through most of it. I'm already at 300 plus dream balls on the account. I have a whole bunch of story to clear, so I'm not necessarily in a hurry as a beginner to select one of these because I'm already clear. There's nothing really in the way right now that I can use or that I'm gonna miss out on by not getting these right away. So the only thing that you might miss out on at first is something that's kind of new to the game, where they have the time attack is something that's not on all the time. So this is just unique to this time frame right now. See, it'll be gone soon. But this event, which is now a monthly thing, it wasn't before. This one right here, where you challenge the powerful superstars, you need to have a certain level of power to be able to get through them. So I'm not sure if even if you picked one of the beginner bonus, let's see, up to S10. Okay. This is up to S30. Okay. Oh man, I might have to do that then. I wanted to suggest that you wait on the gift beginner bonus so that you can save it for the skills once you do have a team established. But if the teams are good enough to clear through these come once a month. Every month you get these right here, and it's a total of 48 dream balls. So it's valuable. It's not something that we have before, and thankfully they introduced it. Thankfully they made it successive, and now so that's an additional 48 dream balls a month that you get that we didn't before. I want to say that, man, I guess I'll have to put it to the test on one of these, right, to see if the gift beginner bonus is good enough to clear through some of these stages. Because if they are strong enough, I don't even know if you have enough energy to get through all of them though. If they are strong enough, then out of these 48 you would be salvaging 32 dream balls, which could be significant. Otherwise, if the gift beginner bonus is not strong enough to get through these stages, then you just got them for nothing in a way, because they're still not strong enough to get through these stages. So you're not getting anything as a bonus or an addition, or as a benefit I should say, for getting those early. Whereas you could maybe, again, once you have a team established, then you can decide which one to take for the skills that they have. 1 second. Oh yeah, so the very beginning, go ahead and get your presents when you start off the game, at least as of now. Once again, July 15, 2022, you start off with your presents and you go straight to your missions, because I guess accepting the presents does, okay, well, the presents allow you to clear certain missions that are going to give you 120 right here. And I'm going to give you a super quick rundown, because I go ahead and put this also in the presents that I got here. You're going to see different bonuses that come in as the game progresses. There's different login bonuses that get announced every couple of weeks or so, and sometimes you get dream balls, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you get items that are necessary to train players, and we'll have to get more into that. The beginner bonuses, as you saw, you get some nice bonuses in terms of dream balls, in terms of SSR tickets that you're going to get within the first, I think it was 10 days or something like that of logging in. And then as you're just playing through the game, progressing, you'll start clearing these challenges and stuff, and you'll get more SSR tickets and stuff like that. Okay, so what do we do now? We got the game started. What do we do? Let's get to that. All right, now that you have your account started, let's say you want to go ahead and, you know what, let's pull right here just to see if we get lucky. Let's say if this was our reroll account and we're still pulling, and we're gonna check to see what's up. Let's go over some of these transfers. So you're gonna have the selectable SSR ticket transfer right here. Oh yeah, well, I guess let me discuss the players then. In this game, each character card, okay, they're like digital cards that you're getting. Each player that you're getting, there's a whole bunch of different versions of them. There's N, R, SR, SSR, and UR. The ones that you want are the SSR. Before, the SR were just passable for skills, but then the meta changed and then they became useless. But now you can at least use them for a transfer that's here, where you could trade in 30 of them to get one obtainable SSR, and that will help you build through your team and not have you deal with too many inventory issues when you first start off. The N and the R cards are just filler and trash. Those are, you're just going to be selling them so that they don't take up space in your inventory. First things first that you want to do is pull. I know I said don't pull, but again, we're re-rolling and you want to start off with at least one character. So depending on when you started, check to see. There's one good resource called Tsubasa.im. They will provide you with the necessary resource and information that you need to look up players and stuff like that, and the stats and all this other stuff. Tons of information there. I highly suggest you check it out. Also, you can join the Facebook groups that are available. There's Global, there's Latina, there's all kinds of different groups that you could join to check out information on some players that are good. You could ask questions. But yeah, so what we're gonna pull on first is just one of the transfers here, but I want to show you what we have available here, because what you're always wanting to get are the SSR cards. And now what I mean by that are the natural SSR cards because every single one has to be evolved and they can only be evolved to up to one level. None of them are worth evolving other than the SSR cards up to UR. But then you're going to need training materials and stuff like that. And again, we'll get into that. But do not think that you can evolve an SR card to SSR and then SSR to UR. That's not how it works. Each one can only be evolved by one stage. And the SR card's only purpose, for the most part, is to use them in the SR transfer now, as of today, July 15th, 2022. Okay, since I had not started off a game in a while, I did not know that this was something that was available as a gift right off the bat, which is kind of nice, but at the same time, not really, because these are what they're gifting you here are one free Dream Festival character. However, it goes up to a certain point. A lot of these players in today's meta are not usable. A lot of these players in today's meta do not really contain a usable skill. Some of them do, but again, why are you gonna select one right now if A, not in the meta, and B, you don't know if you might need one of these skills for a future player instead, and now you missed out because you picked way too early. So for example, this one right here, this specific card has the strongest available blocking skill for this specific character that is available, and the only way you could get it is from this specific card. This card used to be the only way you could get this interception right here, but recently they have released a few character cards that already come with this interception. There's an even stronger one available now. And this guy was really strong when he first came out, but until they give him a rework, which we'll get into that at some point later on, he is not usable in the current meta. This one is to a certain extent, but again, by the time you power him up, might not be in the meta anymore. Who knows? This one has a unique skill. These are not too many cards that are available of them yet that would require you to do this, and they recently reworked them to make them somewhat usable, but for beginners, it's not something that's going to make or break your team, that's going to take your team to the next level. No. This one, the forgotten one that they never gave them hidden ability evolution, which we'll get into later, and that's sad that they did not do that. No. This one has there's so many of this one because it's the main one, so no. This one, as you see, the one that I was showing you earlier, was a blue one, and the one that had the interception right all the way down here. Where is it? This guy, right? You see, Salvatore Gentile. A for agility is the blue type, and this one is S for skill, the green type. But right now, I think this is the only way, or there might be one more other character card, but it might be an exclusive one that contains this block skill, and it's the strongest block that this specific character has. Only available through this card, possibly one more. So maybe down the line, you need this card just for the block. This one, you don't need it. No. Yeah, so most of these are not anything that are gonna make you be like, oh, okay, pull this one right now. No, in some cases, even this one right here, you already got the overhead for this one. The shot that this one has is actually still good for other versions of this character known as Natureza of Brazil. Okay, this one you are gonna want to pull on, but wait until after you're done with your reroll. This one you're gonna be guaranteed 5 different SSR cards, one for each position, as it says here. So you'll get one defender, one defensive midfield, one attacking midfielder, one forward, one goalkeeper. The goalkeeper, the position players and everything, they vary. You're just guaranteed one for each position. There's like 3 different goalies or 4 that are available, but just know that they're all old players. This one right here was the OG, the #1 goalkeeper right here, but of course is no longer needed for anything whatsoever, not even for the catch skill, nothing. Okay, so just be aware that you're pulling on these first once a day just to get the guarantee. And let's say you miss one day, let's say you forgot to log in, or you logged in, you did the dailies and you forgot to pull on it. No matter, the transfer will not end until you pull the 5. Sometimes I like to get started with the goalkeeper first. Even if you get him on you don't get him on the first day, you'll get him by the time it ends. You're gonna get one goalkeeper guarantee for sure. But it's just to be able to clear the stages, not to get through the meta, just to clear the stages. Alright, this one's not bad because this skill is necessary from this character card for other versions of this specific character known as Stefan Levin. So that's actually not a bad one. That's a score in my book. So we get started off with that one. Okay, I think he can play, and in some cases, let me wait for the loading. All right, so in some cases, some characters, they'll be able to play multiple positions, like the Stefan Levin that we just pulled right now. I didn't pay attention, but I believe he could play attacking midfielder and defensive midfielder. So I wonder, well, I guess we'll figure out down the line if that one, what did that count as? My offensive midfielder, my defensive midfielder pull? What was it? But at any rate, just keep in mind, because that specific character card is able to play offensive midfielder and defensive midfielder does not mean that every single Stefan Levin you come across will be able to play those two positions. In some cases, they might only be able to play one. Some cases, up to 3 is the most that we've seen, which has been like defender, defensive midfielder, and offensive midfielder, or we've seen defensive midfielder, and forward for the most part. The most odd one, which I think only one character possesses, is could play both forward or defender, but that hasn't really been a good mix for that character. But yeah, so always pay attention. Pay attention to that before you pull, because you don't want to get into like, oh, okay, I think I have something established. I think I'm gonna pull for this card. I know him as my offensive midfielder right now, and he's a better attacking midfielder, so let me pull for him. Next thing you know, he's only a forward. Okay, and I bring that up because like this one right here, Karl-Heinz Schneider, which is Germany's ace striker. Not this particular version of the card, but there's one that's the most recent Dream Festival card that has this particular character card able to play as a forward or offensive or attacking midfielder, okay, or offensive midfielder. Every other card that I'm aware of that exists of this card is forward only. When he got that versatility for offensive midfielder, I use him as an AM a lot of times because it opens things up for me in particular. But anyway, just make sure that you're paying attention to the character cards and the positions that they can play, okay? All right, so let's continue. So as we mentioned, for this, I would suggest that you save it. The Dream Pot transfer we just went over, we're going to go ahead and make sure that you're pulling on that one daily. You're going to get a max of 5. Now, because I'm trying to see what I'm going to start with, and then we need to cover like how do you get different SSR players and stuff like that. So when you're here in the transfer screen, there's a lot of different things going on. If you get tickets to pull for players, they're going to appear in the transfer screen. When you go to the transfer screen, sometimes you're going to see a whole bunch of different stuff going on because it changes all the time. The transfers that are available are changing almost every like 2 weeks or so. You're going to have a whole bunch of different stuff, a whole bunch of different ways, a variety of ways of pulling SSR character cards. There's debut transfers, which are usually when new cards and stuff like that are introduced into the game. Now you have to be able to differentiate between debut transfers that feature exclusive characters and debut transfers that feature cards that will make it into the standard regular SSR gacha pool. If you go to the resource that I mentioned, tsubasa.im, once again, Tsubasa, TSUBASA.im, go and they will show you. When you click on a specific character card, it will show you if they are exclusive to the banner that's out right now, or exclusive to the type of banner that it's out for right now, or if it's part of the standard SSR pool of tickets. Now, that matters a lot because, again, like I'm telling you, once you wait to pull until the anniversary comes around for the World Cup characters that are surely to come, those are going to be unique to that time frame. They will not be available in any other transfers until, because they started doing this lately, it wasn't always the case, but now they bring them as like a refresh in a sense, where like the banner won't be exactly the same, but they will kind of come back in a different sort of banner, and you will get a second chance at pulling for them. But other than that, that's it. Okay, right now, again, since you're not going to have an established team, then you shouldn't have to worry too much about that. But it is important to understand that there are different types of transfers that are available and that you'll be pulling from. So in the case of this one right here, I did mention, the debut transfers and, being able to differentiate, blah, blah, blah. The J League is one that's exclusive, so we'll get into that. You're also going to come across Dream Collection transfers that happen every month, always at the midpoint of the month. okay? Not specifically always the 15th or the 14th, is always give or take a few days off or whatever. Sometimes I've seen it as early as the 10th, sometimes as late as I guess like right now or whatever, you know. Those character cards will go away, but every time the Dream Collection comes back around, they will be available in that banner. However, there will be a smaller percentage of appearing, so you always have to look for the standard. For the most part, what seems to be standard is that they'll have a brand new player, a pretty good player that's making a return in terms of increased rate up, and another player that at the time that they're introduced, they're not necessarily good, but they keep bringing them back, so that even though your intention is to pull for these two and then you end up getting this one, you're like, So, you know, unfortunately, that's how it is. Sometimes you'll have a banner that has like two really good ones, or one really good one that's usable, and the other one that not so good. And unfortunately, I feel that that's the case with this one in this particular banner. But these give you a 5% chance for SSR. Now you'll notice here that you have an opportunity to transfer for 1, or you have an opportunity to transfer for 10. Now what is suggested when it comes down to the collection and the Dream Festival, which is not shown here because the Dream Festival only comes at the end of the month, every month at the end of the month. Okay, and that features also something similar like the Dream Collection, where they are characters or players that are exclusive to that transfer. Now that matters because usually the Dream Collection players are kind of like, the way they used to be is that they would really stand out in one area and then the rest of it was mediocre. Nowadays they seem to try and make them kind of as strong. They would probably be but even then, this is just recent, where some of them are probably I don't even want to say the second strongest type of characters that you could get in the game, because I think there's some of them that are stronger than what this one has. But his unique ability is the fact that he's able to cancel out 2 abilities from your opponent, which not too many other player cards have access to being able to do so, especially with his high probability of one being guaranteed and the other one 80%. So that's what makes it unique to this card specifically. Okay, this one is actually pretty good, so he makes a comeback and it's gonna make you get tempted into pulling from. Okay, the Dream Festival cards for the most part are usually like the most OP cards that could be pulled, and those have a 5% chance. For these, a lot of people will swear on the transferring for 1, and that is because when you transfer for 10, the only difference from here and here is that this one you go through your dream balls a lot faster. If you're a little impatient and you just want to get through it like pop, then this is the one that you want to go through. The only time that you're going to want to pull for multis from the collection or for the fest is, well, I guess if you're impatient like me sometimes, or if you want to, or when the anniversary comes around, because that's when they do the Super Dream Collection and the Super Dream Festival, where you do 3 multis and you get 1 for free. So that's usually the most convenient time. Otherwise, you could do this, because when you pull 10, you're gonna get 10 panels. And I'll show you in a bit. Okay, as a matter of fact, let's do it now. Let's see if we get lucky. I already got lucky on the reroll tutorial, pulling for the Japanese players, and I was just showing it just to show how to do the reroll, and all of a sudden I came up with 2 of the featured. So I'm like, okay, I guess it's gonna be a keeper. We'll see. And it looks like this thing is slowing down on me, so let me put a pause there. I'll get back to this section, we'll pull on these and we'll continue from there. All right, let's continue here, giving you a little quick preview as to what it looks like to pull for a player. And if nothing comes out here, then I'm just gonna switch away from this one and then just use the opportunity to do 2 for 1 by farming the account I do want to keep and using it as a tutorial as well. You know what I'm saying? As a beginner's guide. All right, but maybe we'll play off of this one if we get lucky. And 5% chance on the Dream Collection and the Dream Festival, because the other ones that you pull on for steps are usually 3%, but there is a difference. Okay, now you see here we didn't see any flares, anything flashy, nothing like that. If we would have gotten something, we would have seen something pop out, a rainbow ball, etc. And before, back in the day, this would take forever because every single one of these was new and it had to present it to you as a new card. But now they're so insignificant that it does not matter. And actually, I'm kind of glad I'm pulled on this one for the sake of the beginner's guide, because these are something new as well that was not available before. So the fact that it's available actually right now at the moment of this video, this recording I should say, I'm going to take advantage of that to explain how those work and why those are important. Let's see if we get a little something. Come on now, let's get a little excited. See, it says chance. We got 3 birds, blah, blah, blah. And then you get a little like, oh, man, I'm probably going to get something, blah, blah, blah. And then they're going to troll you. You don't get anything. You're going to see that the game likes to troll you every now and then. But let's see if we get a little something. This usually indicates something, but we still don't know. This is probably an indicator, but even then we don't know. You see this? There's no flare around this. So we're getting a regular standard SSR. Maybe one from the Dream Collection, but it will not be one that is featured on the banner because they're not glowing or flashing. Yes, this is a Dream Collection exclusive character, but it is not one from the banner, and it is not the start that we would want. So if this were the result of my pulls, I would definitely re-roll. And again, I'm not going to show that here because I'm going to take advantage of showing what those do, and I will jump account so you will not see this player going forward, okay, for the rest of this guide. But just to give you an idea as well as to what we just pulled, you could always click on the details of the transfer before you want to pull on anything. The exchange shop, I will explain. You could always see a preview of the character card that's being featured and the skills and stuff like that. The main special skill, I guess I'll explain that later. Let me see where I'm at. Okay, I'm going to explain all of this later, okay? Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. What all these things do and what they all mean and stuff like that. But for now, I'm going to make it to the very bottom of the notification of the details and click on probabilities. Click on probability. You'll see each transfer is a little bit different. Sometimes you see more than this, sometimes a little less, depending on the transfer that you're pulling. 5%. So 5%, you saw that there were 10 of them right there, right? That meant that every single one of those has a 5% chance to pull a rainbow to get an SSR card. Once you get that SSR card, there's 200 players available within this transfer. Here are the probabilities. As you see, of the 5%, once you get that bing, this is a chance of you getting one of these. These are the featured. Okay. Now look at the one that we just got. Yes, it is a Dream Collection character. However, in today's meta, it is not really used. And up to this day, I think the block skill is not necessarily that unique to that character card, I don't think. Oh wow, he was right here the whole time. Anyway, this is the one that we got. This is the probability, as you can see. The other one was 0.42. 0.42, so half of 1%. Remember, this is not 19%. This is 0.019%, not 19. Not 0.42, not 0.19, 0.019%. So yeah, really low, obviously. And of course, I did not get it featured, but that's all right. But at least you can see what you're up against. And then we'll go ahead and explain these other ones right now. Okay, let me switch the account because I'm not going to continue with this one. And I'm going to switch over to the one that I got the Japanese players, all right? 1 second. All right, now continuing with the types of transfer that are available. We covered the Dream Collection and a little bit of the Dream Fest. Now these, for the J-League selection, usually when you come across a transfer that features something that's official, like right here, usually that means they're going to be exclusive, okay, to the type of transfer that's coming from. The J-League selection transfer tends to pop out, seems to keep coming back every now and then. So you'll see, oh, you know what, let's see the details right here. Because I want to see if the fact that this has J-League, does that mean that all other instances of J-League players are available as well? Or is it just these? That's something that I want to see, okay? So let's go to probabilities here. You can see when you make it to step 3, which I will explain in a bit, because this type of transfer features 5 steps. You make it to step 3, you have 131 players available. Here are the rates, 14% for the first 4. And after that, your drops. Very, very, very old character card. So, you know, it goes back all the way to the beginning. So these are all probabilities of player cards that you can get. All of these. Up to the most recent ones, which are right here. The most recent ones being right here. And there's no way for you to know that because, well, actually there is, and I'm going to show you how. Because once you make it to these, you see this probability right here? 0.001% means that these right here with this specific percentage are what we call mythical cards, I believe they are. Now, unfortunately, they are not as crazy and special as they once were. These used to be like, oh my goodness, I pulled the mythical, like, oh my goodness, blah, blah, blah. I remember the first time, well, the only time I pulled one, and it was this one right here on an account I don't have anymore. It was crazy, you know, like, oh my goodness, blah, blah, blah. Like, wow, I can't believe I have them. Like, crazy, you know. But now when you pull them, like, whatever. Oh, cool, I got them. Then recently they had introduced this one right here, and that was pretty cool because it was out of nowhere. These mythical ones, they don't even get announced, nothing. They just whoop, they just get thrown into the game suddenly. But even then, like 5 years after the game, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mythicals, and none of these are worth anything right now. Anything. So when you get them, yay. But nowadays, nay. Not anymore. The only thing that they're good for now is for when you go to the probabilities, and if you don't know what's recent and what's not, once you make it to here, that's how you know these are the most recent ones, basically. Okay, well, probably not true because because they're not available through SSR tickets, so you won't see that right there. But most of the time that's how it goes. You won't see these in dream pod transfers or anything like that, because when you do dream pods, they limit them. They don't give you the most recent ones. They'll give you maybe up to, like, I think the most current dream pot will take you up to this guy right here. So all of these, even though they're available in SSR tickets, they will not be available in the dream pot. But you see, you know, this one's available through a gift, and then this one through a gift and stuff like that. These two are available in the gift as well, or at least this one is. So you know, you could always check out the probabilities, and that's how you do it. Then afterwards, it shows you the rate. Look at that, 3% right there. 3%. Now what this means, when you made it to step 3, out of the 10 panels that you're gonna see, the very first slot is the guaranteed. After that, every other slot is 3%, and of that 3%, these are the probabilities of getting them. Okay, so here we go. Well, actually, I'm not gonna put anything here because I already did on the reroll video, and you should see that I got this one right here, this one right here, and let's go and explain the steps. So on a lot of these, which is good for you now, coming in 5 years, because back in the day we didn't have any guarantees, any step ups, nothing like that. It was like, hey, here's a new banner, and guess what, it's 3%, and guess what, each one is 50 dream balls, and guess what, doesn't matter how many dream balls you want to pull, baby, it's always going to be 3%, and there's no guarantee of you getting absolutely anything of anything. And the only time that we had guaranteed pairs was during the anniversary, and it wasn't until like a few years later that they finally made it standard, so that everything that's coming out, usually for the most part, that's not part of the collection or the fest, most of the time is 5 steps now. Well, we've gone through 6, we've gone through 8 steps, we've gone through even 10 steps. Now what seems to be the standard, thankfully, is 5 steps, 220 to guarantee yourself a new player. So that's good to know to manage your dream balls, especially once the anniversary comes around and stuff like that, because they introduce a lot of step ups, and you want to make sure that if you're calculating and you're doing the math and you're like, okay, what if I do this? So you know, if you have 220 is enough for 1 step up banner, 440 for 2, 660 for 3, 880 for 4, and so on. That matters too, because as you save up for the anniversary when the global comes around for the World Cup, if you want to pull on multiple of these, then you already know 220, unless they somehow change it up and suddenly they're like, no, Nako, I don't think so, your advice is outdated now, because for this anniversary, guess what, back to 6 steps, homie. Well, that's out of my control, and I apologize. That's up to K-Lab and what they decide to do with their game. So again, this information is accurate and current as of July 15, 2022, and hopefully they keep it like this. I mean, if they want to reduce it to 4 steps, cool, but for the most part, at least right now, 5 steps for 220 seems to make everybody happy, from the developers to the players. So you know, you could save up if you want to do that. Now if you're wondering, well, Nako, if it only cost me 220, then dude, why do you want me to not pull on anything until the anniversary, dude? Why do you want me to save up and get 1,000, blah, blah, blah? Okay, well, let me tell you, because the medals, let's get to that. Actually, can I get to it from here? Yes, I can. Okay, so the medals shop. These medals, to exchange them for players, was not something you had access to before, and you do now. So play it smarter. All right? Let's make sure that we use this to your advantage, so that you know what's up and what you could do with these type of medals. Okay, I went to the exchange shop there, but you know, you could actually make it from here too if you're on the home screen. Okay, I don't want to buy it. When you go to the shop here, every time you see the bonus, means that you haven't claimed your daily bonus your extra bonus for the day. Every single day that you log in, you will get one of these bonuses right here, the free pack, which you want to purchase because it's free. You will never get charged for it, and it'll always include 1 dream ball guarantee plus 2 other materials that if you're new, cool, is extra stuff. When you're not new, was just extra clutter. But and it's a good thing the Dream Ball store is on sale right now too, so I could explain some of these things. Okay, in the shop you're gonna see that these things change every now and then. I would recommend, if you are going to put some money in, it's a gacha game after all. If you don't understand how gacha games work, sometimes you're going to put in some money. Self-control is very important if you're going to survive in this game, because you don't want to get yourself going crazy. Oh, I spent 40 bucks here. Oh, I spent 80 bucks here and I didn't get anything. I didn't get what I want, blah, blah, blah. Like, let's say, for example, right here, 80 bucks for 200 dream balls. Keep in mind, 200 dream balls just means 4 multis. Or if you're going to do the step up, still is 220. You still need 20 more. So what are you going to do? Spend 80 bucks to get 1 guaranteed player? I don't know. Up to you. Up to you how you want to spend your money. I wouldn't suggest it. At the beginning of the game, I remember there was one time for the Dream Festival. I was new to gachas, new to all of this. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to splurge this one time. And I bought one of these. I didn't get absolutely anything for it. Nothing at all. So if you're going to do it, make sure that you're doing it wisely. Take advantage of all these methods of exchange that are available to you now. If you're going to decide to drop some, or if you want to be a light spender, mild spender, just keep in mind, whenever the Dream Balls do go on sale, will always be during Dream Collection, always during Dream Festival. The ones that I would recommend are these right here. So you're always getting 5 Dream Balls for $1, and essentially you're getting 15 for 3, as opposed to, you see right here, 15 for 7. Right here you're getting 15 for 3. So you could do that, and you can accumulate them, because in some of these transfers, we'll get into the paid ones. People say 200, I think it's 205 that are required to fully guarantee 1 player from a paid transfer. So you can accumulate them slowly, or you can try, if you just want to try your chance, take the risk at a player and go to the maximum 5 steps on those paid transfers. Instead of 10, it costs you 30 Dream Balls. So that's about $6, okay, of the dollar sale Dream Balls. Most of the time, like I said, Dream Collection, Dream Festival here. But there's also time, look out for the pack items. Pack items sometimes contain the exact same deal, just with the different costume on. Okay, great value pack with Dream Ball times 10, and these are extra, so this is nice to have. Get the skip tickets, whatever. You're paying $2 here for 10 Dream Balls, which is essentially what you were paying here. If you purchased 2 of the dollar packs, you would have gotten 10 Dream Balls for $2 without this. Then you complete the purchase with this one. Now you spend $3 right here for 15 Dream. Oh, what? My bad. Correction. Before, and I just noticed this now, before it was the exact same deal, 10 for 2, then 5 for 1, and you will get 15, and then 15 for 30. Sneaky. They reduced it by 1, which is still kind of all right for $1. Not bad. It's not too bad. Okay, so now the redemption medals. All right, so you saw that I pulled. Oh yeah, that was in the other one. Remember I told you guys I was going to switch account, right? But anyways, you should have seen in this video when we pulled on that Dream Collection one, we got some of these. For every one that you pull, every 5 Dream Balls is 1 transfer. You get 1 of these medals. So when you pull 1 multi, you get 10 of those. And that's important to know so that you could do your math, okay? Math lesson, quick math lesson right here. 300 is what is required. We spent 50 Dream Balls for 1 multi, which gave us 10. So every 1 multi gives us 10. We need 300. So that means we need 30 multis. At 30 multis for 50 Dream Balls each, that means 1,500 Dream Balls. 1,500 Dream Balls to guarantee 1 of these players. 1. I know it sounds like a lot, and it is. But back in the day, there were people that were pulling 1,000 plus Dream Balls and they were getting nothing. There was no medal system in place. So you could spend up 2,000 Dream Balls and end up with absolutely nothing. So little by little, they've been making improvements. Still, but anyway, I'm not going to get into all of that. Just know that that's how much it costs for here. And this is significant. Okay? 1 second. All right, so let's go back to your question of Nako. Well, why are you asking me to save up all these dream balls, man? What's up? As I mentioned, when you make it to the anniversary, they're going to add on what is known as a Super Dream Festival. And as of late, they've been doing Super Dream Collection, so the same thing will apply. The medal exchange, the same thing will apply. That's what I mean. In terms of how it works, okay? Keep in mind, though, that every single one of these has its own set of medals. So these that you pull for this month's Dream Collection is only redeemable for this month's Dream Collection. You cannot accumulate these until you get 300 eventually to claim another player. No. That's not how it works, okay? So by the end of it all, if you only pulled, like let's say for example, and what you saw at the beginning of the video, I did 2 multis. That was 100 dream balls. That's all I had. That's all I pulled. So I ended up with 20 medals. The best thing that you can get for those 20 medals are these right here. Absolutely yes or yes 100%. This is what you're exchanging. Some cases, only if you go extensively far into pulling will you be claiming these. For an example of when to claim these, go to my Dream Festival pull where I put that I had to Pt1 because I was going to make it to the 300 medals required to get the player. And right towards the end, when I needed like about 3 or 4 more pulls, I got them. And the best thing to do was, instead of pulling the remainder of the way to claim one more character card that would not have been useful unless I wanted the skill for another card to have a duplicate, but that's not what I wanted. I wanted to raise up that character specifically, so it was much more beneficial based on how the game goes to claim the medals to get 2 of these and then the remaining in these. Okay, I'll get into an explanation of that, but it's very important that you understand this. Now, when you get to the Super Dream Collection and the Super Dream Festival during the anniversary, because they have a 3+1 and you get that 1 free multi, that's 1 free multi that gives you 10 free medals after every 3. That matters a lot because while it costs 1,500 dream balls here on any random Dream Collection or any random Dream Festival, I'm sorry, not 300 dream balls, 300 medals for 1,500 dream balls. The fact that you get those free ones for those super ones, it costs 1,150 dream balls to guarantee one instead of 1,500 for a difference of 350, which is quite significant because that's enough to pull on one other step up banner and still have some left over. So, you know, save now. Don't pull on anything. Go into this anniversary with 1,000+ dream balls and then see what attracts you, and then maybe based on the characters that you've gotten through SSRs, through SSR tickets and gifts and stuff like that, especially the anniversary 2 is going to be bringing you. It seems that every time they seem to increase the amount of big thanks tickets and stuff like that that you get. So maybe that would be a good opportunity to build up a team. And based on the cards that you get from there, you can have them for skills to pass on to the new cards that come for the anniversary. Or you can use them as cards that are used for boundary breaking their characters. And you know, it's a lot of stuff. So yeah, save your dream balls, everybody. Save your dream balls. Okay. So now that we cover that, we have to show you the differences in some of these other ones. And we'll get to these transfers as well. You know what? Let me show you the transfer first, and then I will show you why that matters, okay? Because like I said, every single transfer has its own different exchange system. Most of the time it's medals. When you see something like this that says XP exchangeable, it's almost the same thing but different because the cost of dream balls here is different. Let's do some math then again. So here, every 5 steps we're doing 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, right? We're doing 50 pulls here. Every 1 pull gives you 1 SP. But right here, this is 1050 SP. It's costing you 220. To exchange for a card, you need to exchange 300 SP. You see, I pulled 3 steps, so I got 30. So again, same thing. The medal's 300. So that means how many multis? 30 multis. So every 5 steps is 220. So we need to do 6 rotations at 220 each. Gives us, where did I say 3 was 660, so 1,320. 1,320 dream balls are required to guarantee any one that you want from here. That's assuming that in the 6 cycles, because again, this was not available before. Before it's like, oh man, it was so bad. the step up would end, right? Like now it says returns to step 1 after the final step. Before the final step ended, and then anything from 6 and beyond or 7 and beyond was a standard 3% transfer. So if you went through the entirety of the steps and you didn't get the player that you wanted, and you wanted to take that chance at 3%, oof, you could go on forever and never get that card. And it was, oh man, it was so painful when you didn't get the one that you wanted. At least here, if for some reason in 6 cycles, 6 cycles means you're gonna get 6 opportunities to get, let's say, the one that you want. If you don't get them, that's gonna be crazy, because in those 6 chances that you're guaranteed one of these, you're still getting 6 of these too. So it's 12 opportunities. And if 12 opportunities you didn't get them, well, I don't know. I mean, the game doesn't like you, I guess. But in the end, it's 1,320 dream balls if you get that unlucky. But I highly doubt that will happen to you. But just keep in mind that it will be totally dependent on what comes around. Again, during the anniversary would probably be the only time that I think that such a thing would be advisable to do. Okay, so that's how it works for these. Let's see what else we got. Oh yeah, and so now if you go check out my pool video for this particular transfer, the other option that you have now are the paid ones. So if you went through this, like I went through one cycle on my main account and I didn't get the character that I wanted. So nowadays, this wasn't available before either. They had introduced paid transfers at some point. But the thing was that the paid transfers were only for exclusive characters that were only paid transfer exclusive. That's it. No other way to get them. Now, at the very least, they give you the debut transfer in steps. And if you still get unlucky, you get an opportunity to pull for him individually and whatever banner that you want. Each one will get their own separate paid banner. And just to show you then how these work, I'm pretty sure it's 205. I've heard some people say 200, but let's do the math. All right. So for the first 5 steps is always 30 for sure. Okay. Here's 1 to the 7 plus 8, 15, 15, 30. Okay. Up to here. And check it out. This one's the most painful of all. 50% chance for 1 SSR. Now keep in mind, 50% chance doesn't mean, well, right here it's because there's only 2 transfers. But there's going to come a time where you're going to come across some step ups. Oh, actually not anymore, because they removed that. They had six steps before. It was step 3 was a 50% chance, step 4 guaranteed, and step 6 was the other guaranteed with the new one. Now they just completely removed step 3, 50% chance, gave you step 3 is a guaranteed, and step 5. Oh, that's crazy. Well, that's good though, because I hate pulling on the 50% chance, because you're like, yeah, 50%, and you still don't get anything. Like, oh man, come on. But it's just like we flip a coin, right? So, it's expected. So if you manage, again, that's $6, 30 dream ball, well, 29, because now it's 10 and 4, and you would need to maybe spend one more. Okay, $7 for an opportunity for one of these to make it up to here. If you go back and look through some of my anniversary ones, you'll see that I managed my paid dream balls. I managed them to pull on I targeted specific banners. Some cases it went well. Some cases it went beautiful. In some cases, because I didn't want to pull the full steps because there was only one specific card that I wanted, I went through the paid banner and I got them. We experienced some technical difficulties there, but we're back. So now, like I was saying, there was, like, let's say for example, like on this one, it did happen to me on one of the other ones where there were like three players available. The only one that I wanted was a goalkeeper. So I was like, I really don't want any of the other two, as opposed to if it was there was one banner where every single one of those could have been useful on my team. So I pulled the full steps. And then on that one, I really only wanted the goalkeeper. I did not want to take the chance of going the full steps and then not getting them. So I was like, I'll take my chances on the paid banner first. I went, boom, I got lucky, got him on the 50% chance. And then from there, well, it was only cost me 15 paid dream balls. Okay, paid, free. Okay, those are the options that you have now in case it doesn't go well for you. So that's why I would suggest, if you are going to put a little bit of money into the game, if you want to start doing that now, if you manage to get a perfect start and you manage to get something good and you just want to do a minimal investment where you think you're not gonna re-roll again once the anniversary starts and get the perfect start, from there get the dollar ones, and then from there, after you got your perfect start, then you can start investing into the dollar ones at least. Okay, and it becomes a worthy investment down the line. So now, going back to paid banners only, well, this one is not necessarily a paid banner only, but it's introduced primarily as a paid banner. Same thing goes here. Oh yeah, what we're trying to do is accumulate the math here as to why they're 205. So it's 30 right here. This makes it 50 plus 30, 80 plus 75 is 155 plus 50, 205. Yo, it's not 200, it's 205. So 205 are the paid ones, all right? But at the very least along the way, you know, you get one more right here. And if you manage to pull, like on one of them, I thought I was going to end up all the way over here, but then I ended up getting them right here, the one that I wanted. So I ended up saving, I was ready to go the 205 dream balls, and I ended up saving 90, which will allow me to pull on up to step 5 on 3 additional banners from the paid ones, from the anniversary ones, because I was trying to save up as many dream balls to be able to guarantee a super dream festival character. All right, so plan accordingly. Do the math, yo. Okay, the other option that you have now, which isn't always the case, but it seems like they're trying to make this a standard now, which is a good thing. For these, while you have 205 on the paid ones, you also have the option of, you see, as long as you see this on the information, gain medals from transfers, exchanging for pairs, blah, 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 blah. Okay, these are, I think this one is an exclusive one, being introduced as a paid banner, and in this way, this for sure. These fight warriors in blue, exclusive. Warring world warriors, exclusive. Meaning you're not gonna get them on standard banners or anything like that. So like while the Dream Festival and the Dream Collection players come back after every festival, after every collection, that won't always be the case with this. This might be the only way to get this specific card right now in the game. Okay, you have the opportunity now to change them for that, but you'll see that these type of banners are actually 3%, not 5%. Like the collection and the festival. So you know it's a risk for sure, and sometimes you feel it when you're pulling, but at the very least now, because of the exchange for these type of players, is actually not bad. Because, well, let's say the other one that had 4 featured players, right? And let's say you spent 220 to go the 5 steps, and then when you went through the 5 steps, in the end you didn't get the one that you wanted. That was 220 dream balls for not getting the one that you wanted. This one is one character, one specific character, one targeted character. This one is the one that pertains to the Japanese pair Aoi that we just saw, which is this one right here. Okay, now as you can see here, the exchange medals are 50, not 300, 50, which means you only need 5 multis. Yeah, 5 multis. You need 5 multis here, or because it's a 3% banner, this is one of those where you want to pull singles. Because let's say, for example, you pull 2 multis and you got them on the first slot. That means all the other ones were empty, right? Think of each one of those counting as 5 dream balls. So that's like 45 dream balls you could have saved. Because if you pull singles, it doesn't change the fact that it's 3%. There's absolutely no difference. Multis or single is 3%. It's just a matter of your patience. So if you already know, hey, it's going to be 250 dream balls. Okay, 250 dream balls are what I'm pulling. I'm going to pull 50 singles right now. And you go boop, 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 boop. If you have the patience to sit through 50 of those pulls, well, eventually you're gonna get to 50 medals, and that's what allows you the most to maximize your probability of saving dream balls to save for a future banner. Okay, but if you're just lazy, 5 multis and you got them. 250 dream balls, which is not bad. Again, 30 more than the other one, and this one is at least for sure a guarantee that you will get the player that is on the banner. See, same thing for Senaldo. And the reason why that matters too is that you never want to exchange for these, okay? Never ever exchange any of these for these black balls. Never, ever. You'll get plenty of training materials. Don't worry about it. None of these are worth this. Ever. Don't do that. Big waste to get one of these when you could get 25 of these. These are much more valuable, super valuable compared to this. No. 100 of these equals 1 of these. You go to your items here. Not enough for here, but that's all right. Doesn't matter, because there's absolutely no reason why you should be pulling up to 100 to get this one on this particular banner, because you only need 50. So you should not be pulling more than 50. Why is this one 64? I'll explain. Because there's a method of leveling up. Like I said, getting 1 copy of the card is not enough. You need 1, and then on top of that, 4 additional copies. Yes, 4 additional copies, or you use these items in place of the copies, or you use 100 of these to exchange for 1 of these to use in place of 1 of these. So the extra copy can serve a multitude of things. It could be used to pass on the skill, but when you pass on the skill, you lose permanently the copy. That's why you have to think and manage your resources to see what you're gonna do, how you're gonna do it, and what's up. Okay, so again, for this particular character, there are not too many versions of this particular character to the point where I'll be like, oh, let me pass on this block to another one, because there is no other usable character of this particular one. There isn't. If they bring one up in the future, good, but we don't know if he'll be capable of blocking, because the only other few characters that have existed for this particular card are not usable right now. So it doesn't matter if the block would go. No, it doesn't matter. Okay, not good. So for this particular one, I do not want this. Now this one, let's say this one contains a unique skill. There's a whole bunch of different ones here of Shingo Aoi, but only this card, this specific card, has this particular skill at an S rank. Still not worth getting the extra copy for this particular one, because this requires 3 different players, but there's only 2 S rank 1-2 skills available for this particular card. Well, 3, but it's very difficult to have an S rank 1-2 skill for this particular character card, because the one of them that is available was only available as a reward through like some event or PvP event. I forgot. The other one is a 1-2 that it's available with another character that has no character cards that are used in any form of meta whatsoever, so it's a useless skill. And this one, it's difficult because it requires you to have 2 additional characters in Tsubasa and Misaki. So if you're a veteran or if you have an established team already or whatever, then it might be okay to pull this extra one for the skill, but I would not recommend it for this one. One of these shops will open up here once you own them. It's not appearing here for me because I don't own a single one of these, or I don't have anything to exchange for any one of these. So once I open up these, once I have some of these, a shop will open up that will allow me to exchange 100 of these for one of these. And let me show you then the difference between the Dream Collection, right? You see, cost is never going to change. But I don't know if this is how they're trying to get you or what. But the thing is that there's absolutely, like I said, 0 reason why you should be going up to this for this transfer or for this one. 0. This one's 50. This one, because of the fact that it's 300 and you pulled and you made it up to 300, or you made it up to 299 or whatever it is, and you pulled it at the very end, that's when you're gonna go here. If you made up to 300, claim your 3. Oh, there's only one of these. Oh wow, there's less of it, huh? Interesting. Well, for the Super Dream Festival, I just noticed this. Maybe it's going forward, that's how it is, or maybe it was just for the Super Dream Festival that it was different. But I could have sworn in the Super Dream Festival previously, I had redeemed two of these and the rest of them on these. But now I'm only getting 1 and 100. That's not cool. Especially if I go that many Dream Balls in to redeem one of these. That's not cool. I'm gonna have to send a complaint. We'll see what's up. But yeah, you see, then I guess what they want you to do is what? If you had to go pity, get one of these, and then with your remaining 100, I guess you go and redeem them for this. Is that what they're forcing us to do now? That's not cool. We should end up with at least 3 of these. Anyway, that's how these transfers work. Let's see what else they have. Okay, so we're going back into the transfers here, and then when we go here, we already did this. I gave you an explanation of the different types of step ups and stuff like that. We have these. Okay, this one, no. Don't pull here. No. $6. No. Do not pull here. Don't do it. This is when after you pull and you get enough, you'll need 30 of them here. You do auto select, boop, boop, boop. Go ahead, pull, and then you get yourself one guaranteed SSR, which will be useful to you as you start building up your team because you will be getting stuff and whatnot. Now for this one, same thing. These are all 3%. This is not something that was available previously. Now it looks like it's available permanently. What they have been doing recently as well, as you can see, remember on the other one I showed you that it only went up to this player right here. So this is not going to have the most recent and most current. I don't know if later on down the line they'll replace it and update it a little bit, which seems that they've been doing as of late. And there's different ways of getting Dream Pot tickets here. You get them through events, you get them through rewards, through missions, stuff like that. So what this does is that every single one of these Dream Pots will always guarantee you 1 SSR. You have 40 right here, 40 character cards within the Dream Pot, and you're pretty much, that's what it is. You're pulling one out of the pot, until you make it to the 1 SSR that's right here. And then after you pull the SSR, very important, after you pull it, you get an option here that says reset the pot. You have to reset it, because if when you pull, you get it early, boom, automatically reset it. Because once you pulled it, there are no other SSRs within the pot. So if you waste it by pulling it early and then you keep on pulling on the pot, you're not going to get another SSR. So you're just wasting it. Okay, so it's just to give you an example, just in case we happen to get lucky. I'm going to pull here. The most recommended one is to go through here if you have the patience for it, because then that means you get to maximize your tickets in case, you know, it happened to me one time before I started doing videos. One time I remember I pulled and it was like on the last ticket. Most often that's when what's going to happen. You're going to go down to the 40, the very last one. After that, it'll tell you got all the transfers from here, reset it automatically, and you still have to go and reset it, but it's gonna tell you, hey, you can't pull on this anymore until you set it. So it happened to me once where I did it on the last one, and then I reset it, and then on the first one, on the first ticket, I got an SSR, and I was like, oh, cool. I reset it, then I pulled again, nothing, pulled again, boom, and then I got another one. Like, oh wow! So like within 4 tickets, I got 3 SSR as opposed to this. You know what I mean? So this is the best bang for your buck. So I'm going to show you a little bit of a difference. This is just going to drop down to 9 after I pull one of these, because it's always just going to be depending on the amount of tickets that you have. So with 40, for every 30 you get 10. So for 40, every 120 tickets you have a guaranteed SSR. Okay, but I want to do a single one just in case. Right here we happen to get lucky, and all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, you see why? You see why we should be pulling by singles and don't troll me now. You're gonna troll me for the you see, we saw the flares and everything. It looked like something might come out. Nothing came out. She comes out. She didn't change the ball for me, do anything. Sometimes they do that. Whoa, lagging behind here. What's up? All right, so you see we got nothing. It tells you right here third. That just means that it's one of these from the available selections. So that means that number is going to go down. So you see, always trying to pay attention to this. That one first is a SSR. I'm going to go ahead and pull these just for the sake of the video, even though I do want to be farming up this account. So I should probably be wiser with it. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and, you know, pull the multi here. Maybe we get lucky. It looks like I'm a little bit behind. I'm a little delayed. So I'm going to have to come out and then come back in. But after this one, let's see what happens. Let's see if we get trolled again or what's up. Oh, we might actually get it on this one. Oh, what? Look, and I think that's the first slot. Aw, man. Whack. So when it's the first slot, that tells me, I guess, if I would have pulled one single instead of the multi, I probably would have gotten it. But who knows? I don't know. See, so this shows you exactly what I was hoping would happen, so that I could show you why much better to pull on the singles. Because in this case, this is, again, the first slot. So in essence, I got it on the first slot, and all these other tickets were wasted because, well, I already got this one. So it's impossible for any one of these to contain another SSR. So if you pull in singles, you could get to maximize your tickets and, you know, get as many SSRs as you can. That's kind of important for a couple of things too, because eventually during the anniversary they bring around an SSR mixer, which allows you to throw in 5 SSRs for 1 in return. A lot of times this allows you to use SSRs that you don't want or don't need or are completely trash, to throw them in and get something back in return. Sometimes it'll be, sometimes it's good, sometimes you're gonna get something that's trash as well. But the reason why it matters is because once we get to the explanation of boundary breaks and stuff like that in another video, how to train and all this other stuff, then I'll show you how boundary breaking works and why now it's important to have duplicates, even if it's old characters, because as long as the character matches, if you have, like, let's say if I get 4 copies of this one, right, I will get to well, actually 5 copies, because you need 1. Wow. You need 1 to pull the character and then 4 to maximize it to boundary break 4. And then when you boundary break for this card, and let's say I get like the newest Dream Festival Kino version of this card, then I could use this one card that's a boundary break 4 to feed it, to use it as a boundary break material that will boundary break the new card up to level 2. Which means that then to maximize that card, the powerful card, at least I save 2 Tamatsus here, and I would need either 2 of those, as I mentioned, the Tamatsus, which are those medals that I showed you, or 2 character cards of that exact copy. Okay, the exact copy. So again, If I pull another exact copy of this one, I could feed it to boundary break it by 1 level. If I get another character card that is not this exact same card, but it's the exact same character, but it's a different card, and I need these 4 to break. It'll be easier and better understood once I show you, but you know, it's okay to keep some duplicates for now. But to maximize it on the pot, we want to do that. And then as you can see, I got the Dream Pot SSR transfer ticket, SSR transfer early. So now I get the option to reset here. See, it's no longer there. So go ahead and reset that. And then we will get, boom, we're back to that. Okay, so I think in terms of this beginner's guide, I'm gonna wrap it up here because now I'm getting a call. So I think my children are here. So let me take this call and then I'll wrap things up here. 1 second. Okay, so yes, we're gonna go ahead and wrap things up here for now because this ended up being a lot lengthier than I thought it would be. I know it's a lot of information to take in. This is just information on the transfers, and I think the transfers are something that are very, very important to understand because, you know, when I first came into it, I was like, oh, I could pull here, I could pull here, I could pull here, and I was just wasting dream balls like crazy, and no, that's not good. I want to go ahead and save that to wrap things up then. So now on a future video, I'm going to show you how to train players, boundary break, skill removing, passing on skills, limit breaking, what you should do. As a matter of fact, what should you do now while you're waiting on the training? Well, let me tell you, every day there's a reset period. For me personally, 5 p.m. is my reset period. So find out, you get the reset. And the reset means applies for your missions and for the login bonuses and all this other stuff. Okay, so daily, when you're a beginner, you're not gonna have to worry about too much to do for the dailies, but you want to get them done because you want to get 1 dream ball. You get 1 dream ball every day for doing the missions. From viewing the ads, you get 3 in total, and then from the store, from the shop, you get 1. So every day by doing the dailies, you get 5 in total. So that's important because that's your primary bread and butter that you're playing for, to be able to pull for characters, to be able to pull for players so that you can improve your stuff. Okay, so the fastest way to dream balls is just by playing the game naturally, by playing through the story mode. You're gonna go ahead and unlock missions that are gonna give you dream balls. You're gonna unlock characters that will just allow you to complete the rest of the story and stuff like that. But most importantly is, again, you're gonna see this go up and up and up because of the ones. Every time you clear one, you get 1, and plus all the missions that you're going to be getting and stuff like that. Real quick then, to show you where all the ads are. Here you get rewards for watching an ad. I'm not going to do that right now, but you get 3 of these. In the transfers, there are ads as well. There are 3 of them. And in the rewarded ad transfer, they recently made a change where now you're guaranteed an SR player and above, which is not bad because then that means that at least every 10 days after getting 3 of these, you can redeem it for 1 SSR player right here. At least. Okay, so you get 3 of these, and every time you finish an ad, it'll tell you, hey, how many more ads of this particular ad you have left and how many dream balls you have left to redeem. Always 3 per day through the ads. 3 right here, 3 over here, and as you go, you also get an opportunity to renew your energy once per day. Don't worry, 30 is not a lot right now, but you don't need a whole lot right now that you're just starting off. This is going to increase significantly. On my main, I'm up to 500. So you know, which is usable for most events, but some events where you have to compete for points and stuff like that, you're going to need recovery balls and all this other stuff, but we'll get into that later. Right now, just know that there is 1 ad waiting for you here. Okay? When you're looking for the ads to get your 3 for the day, 1 ad is waiting for you here. Now, when you complete an event, there's a whole bunch of different events here. I'm not going to have time to go through them all, so I'm just going to go ahead and skip through this. I made this mistake of coming here. This is time limited. It won't always be available, so if you're watching this video for the first time and you don't see that here, that just means that there's no time attack available right now. The challenge road comes every month. Once you establish enough teams to actually go through the challenges, there's 30 of them. There's various rewards that are available in it. You won't be able to complete all 30 of them, unfortunately, until later on down the road. And then later on down the road too, as you're collecting more and more cards, you'll be able to get stuff from here, which gives you formations, give you training materials for your skills, and gives you, which are going to be valuable, and you'll be getting skill removal cards, which are important, and you'll be getting dream balls as well. This is the one that's important to do. Once you manage to complete all 30 of them in the future and you become a veteran of doing so, you will get an option to skip through them, and all it's going to cost you is energy, not skip tickets or anything like that, which is important to have. But you'll get a whole bunch of different rewards, and each one is a different one that you need to complete. As you can see, use for more agility type players, get a hat trick, and so on and so forth. Every single road is different. These are just the different rewards you get at these stages of the rewards. Okay, so like 16, 17, you don't get anything extra other than the one dream ball that you get for completing it. All right, so that's it for the challenge road. That'll be 30 dream balls guaranteed every month once you complete it the first time around, because then you'll be able to skip it every month. If you're able to do the superstar challenges, that's another 48. So 78 additional dream balls that we did not have when we were first doing the game that you get now. And then, so the story mode, right now it looks like you get a boost in the experience. And keep in mind, the experience will be for the rank, and the rank will determine your energy here. It's not gonna be experience that's going to train up your players and level them up. No, that has to be done through training booklets and stuff like that. So that's the only way to do them, actually. So I will go into that into another video. For now, let's just focus on what you got to do, which is do this. See, right here is up to rank 50. It's going to reduce the amount of energy that you have to consume. For right now, if you're new to the story and you never read any of the story, I would, if it's your first time playing through the game, you should probably go through it. It's like pretty cool. The animations that they do and stuff like that is pretty cute and whatnot. But if you're, for the sake of this video, I'm just going to skip it. Later on down the line, if you don't really care about the story and you just want to skip it and do that and collect the dream ball and move on. Then after that, as you can see, another one. All right, let's skip through it. Just because I want to be able to show you real quick the different stages that open up and blah, blah, blah. Okay. You see, you're going to see different stuff here that you're not going to see anywhere else. It's part of the story. You hear some audio and stuff like that, which is nice. Okay, we get our first clear reward. As always, for everything that comes out, story or event thingy like that, you'll always get one dream ball for clearing it. Then here we go. You're going to have your normal, your hard, your very hard. It doesn't take much to clear the very hard, especially at the very, very beginning of the game. We're at the very, very beginning of the story. As you clear all 3 stages here, they'll start unlocking one by one. And as you see, there's a whole lot of story to clear out. Whole lot of story. I know it seemed like a lot of work, but trust me, there's behind all of these, there's a whole bunch of juicy dream balls that you want to collect and build up on and have as many as possible for the next anniversary. Now, how many dream balls do you get? Initially, a bunch of these, I think some of the first story ones, because it's so long, you get like 40 plus from what I recall. And then later on down the line, they start getting reduced. I think around here, they start getting reduced to like about maybe 36. Then even later on down the line, I think even further, maybe here you get maybe like 18 or 20, something like that. And this one is probably for sure no more than 20, I don't think so. It does start going down, so it's hard for me to give you an average, but as you can see, there's a whole bunch to clear out. And then that's the thing, you're gonna get a whole bunch of scenarios and you're gonna get a whole bunch of dream balls, and then these cost you very little, especially at the beginning, because of the required energy being cut down to 50%, only 3. And because you're getting an increase in your experience, when you rank up, your energy gauge gets filled up once again. So you'll be breezing through the story mode like this real quick. So once you go through the tutorial and you actually manage to set up your team edit and blah, 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 because don't forget, after you pulled already one player from here, from my reroll, and I pulled one from the little dream pod transfer that's going to give you one for each position. So you want to make sure that once you learn how to set them onto your team, put them onto your team to make clearing those story scenarios a whole lot easier. Right now I'm just gonna go for the quick edit of full auto because it does not matter. But there you go. You see, we at least get some. Hey, this one was put out here. That's messed up. Anyway, but you see, these are the SSR characters that are gonna be up front. This guy at least comes with the shot. I don't remember if this one does too or not, but okay, they're here now, so I gotta get going. Thank you so much for coming by for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Come back for more. Please practice kindness, be respectful, be responsible, be kind, be generous. Peace and love. We'll see you on the next one. Hopefully this was useful to you. The next one will feature how to train and all that stuff, but clear the story, save your dream balls. Come back for more, everybody. Peace. Bye.